Hi everyone, my name is Dan, and today I want to share my thoughts on fashion. Now, I know what you might be thinking. How does a software engineer like me have anything interesting to say about fashion? Well, let's explore that together. First of all, fashion might not seem directly related to my world of coding, debugging, or badminton, but I believe it's an essential part of everyday life. It's how we express ourselves without even saying a word. And trust me, as someone learning English, I know the value of communication, both verbal and nonverbal. When I think about fashion, I think about balance, similar to playing badminton, where you need the right mix of power and precision. In fashion, it's about balancing personal comfort with style. For example, as a software engineer, I spend most of my day in front of a computer. Comfort is crucial. I often go for a smart casual look, breathable shirts, flexible jeans, and my favorite sneakers. But when I'm meeting clients or attending a formal event, I switch to something more polished, maybe a tailored blazer and sleek loafers. It's like switching gears in life. Now, let's talk about how fashion connects to identity. Growing up in Shenzhen, a city that's fast-paced and always evolving, I saw how people used fashion to reflect their ambitions. Shenzhen is known as a tech hub, but it's also full of innovation in fashion. From streetwear brands to high-end designers, the city has it all. I remember as a teenager, I was fascinated by how quickly trends changed. One week, everyone was wearing oversized hoodies, and the next, it was all about minimalist styles. It taught me that fashion is dynamic, just like technology. Shanghai, where I live now, has a slightly different vibe. It's more international, more diverse, and that shows in the way people dress. Walking around the city, you'll see everything, from traditional kippao dresses to avant-garde street fashion. And what's fascinating is how people blend old and new. It reminds me of how I approach learning English. Combining traditional methods like grammar practice with modern tools like apps or online courses. Now, let me share a personal story. A few years ago, I attended a tech conference in Beijing. I wanted to make a good impression, so I spent extra time picking out my outfit. I chose a dark suit, a crisp white shirt, and a tie with a subtle geometric pattern. When I walked into the room, I noticed how everyone else had made similar efforts. It wasn't just about looking professional. It was about showing respect for the occasion and the people around us. Fashion, in that moment, became a bridge. It made me feel more confident, even though I was nervous about giving a presentation in English. Speaking of confidence, I think that's one of the biggest impacts fashion can have. The right outfit can change how you feel about yourself. For example, when I play badminton, I always wear performance gear, lightweight shirts, sweat-wicking shorts, and shoes with great grip. It makes me feel faster, more agile, and ready to win. Similarly, when I'm preparing for an important meeting, wearing a tailored shirt makes me feel sharp and focused. It's amazing how clothes can influence your mindset. Another aspect of fashion I admire is its connection to culture. In China, traditional clothing like the tang suit or the hanfu has been making a comeback. It's not just about nostalgia, it's a way of celebrating our heritage while adapting it to modern tastes. I think that's a beautiful reminder of how fashion tells a story. Every piece of clothing has a history, whether it's the materials, the design, or the person wearing it. Of course, I can't talk about fashion without mentioning sustainability. As much as I appreciate new styles, I'm also aware of the impact the fashion industry has on the environment. That's why I try to be mindful when I shop. I look for quality over quantity, pieces that will last longer and won't go out of style too quickly. It's a bit like coding. You want to write clean, efficient code that doesn't need constant fixes. Before I wrap up, let me share one tip for anyone who wants to elevate their fashion sense. Pay attention to the details. It could be as simple as matching your belt with your shoes or choosing a watch that complements your outfit. These small touches can make a big difference. And remember, fashion isn't about following trends blindly. It's about finding what works for you. So, whether you're a software engineer like me, a chef, a teacher, or a student, fashion is a part of your story. It's a way to express who you are and who you want to be. And just like learning English, it's a journey, one that requires observation, practice, and confidence. Thanks for listening to my thoughts on fashion. I'd love to hear your perspective too. What does fashion mean to you? Let me know in the comments, and let's keep the conversation going. See you in the next video.